Hey, we're having a good time this Friday. Hope you are as well on your way into work. A lot of people texting us about that last topic where, you want to listen to a particular thing and someone wants to listen to something else and how you handle that. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Welcome back to The Monsters. I'm Russ Rollins along with Angel and Carlos. We got Ryan Holmes and a special guest today from the Improv. Josh Wolf is in, and he's going to be at the Improv all weekend long. And, there's Jeff Howell slipping in here. I haven't seen Jeff in a while. What's up? How you doing, Josh?
Good, how are you? Let me ask you something. Why is there a wet spot right there?
I went movie there.
I mean,
Carlos marked his territory.
There is for sure.
That is a wet spot, you're right.
Yeah, that's not...
My bag was there before, and I don't think it's leaking.
What kind? Is that what you call it, your bag?
I know.
You shouldn't leave your bag on the table.
It's my merce.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
Good. How many times have you been to Orlando?
I have no idea. In my
bunch?
life, it was a stand-up.
As a stand-up.
It's got to be 4 or 5, I would think.
Is it when you hear you're going to Orlando? Is it one of those things where you're like, oh, good, I'm going to Orlando? Or is it like, oh, I gotta go to Orlando?
Okay, so for me, one of my favorite things to do when I travel is I like to get in a cab and say, hey, take me someplace in your city where I won't see it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, my 2 favorite answers ever. Yeah. I was in Grand Rapids once, and I said, take me someplace and to see something in your city I can't see anywhere else. And the guy turned to me and he goes, you ever seen a dead body? And I said, no.
The Stand By Me response?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I said, no. And he goes, do you want to? And I said, nope. Because he said it like the dead body could be me.
Damn.
So I was like, and the second one, and this is, have you ever been to Atlanta?
Yeah.
So I say to the guy, take me someplace in the city where I can't see, I'll see something here I won't see anywhere else. He turns and he pulled the car over. And when he pulled the car over, I was like, oh, he wants to tell me something. And so he pulls the car over and he turns around and he goes, you ever seen a grown woman crush beer cans with her boobies? And I was like, no. And he said, do you want to? I said, yeah. So it's a place called the Claremont Lounge. And her name is Goldie. And she's 80. Her boobies are probably 50. Wow. But she's 80.
That place is world famous.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. I saw you there last time I was there.
Oh, yeah.
So, but if you can YouTube Goldie at Claremont Lounge, and you will see videos of this woman crushing beer cans with these giant boobies.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And the whole crowd gets into it.
Sure.
Like, she lifts him up and everyone's like, oh.
Yeah, I bet.
And she drops him. Yeah.
Where did they say, when you went to Orlando, where did they take you?
Well,
Have you done it yet?
I already know where I'm going to ask him to take me.
Oh, okay.
I am going to Holy Land, everybody.
Oh, yeah. A lot of Jesus there.
I'm going to Holy Land. Listen, if I go to that gift store, in that gift shop, and they don't have sandals and robes, I'm gonna be mad, man. They better.
And they got nails,
Yeah.
Yeah, they got all that.
They better. I want the whole thing.
You know what I found? Because you said you take taxis. I have found recently, though, if I do Uber, they'll talk to you more and they'll tell you more about what the real people do. Because I went to Chicago, and the taxi drivers are I don't know. It's like a different kind of person than the Uber driver who lives and works there. I felt like I got more information on them.
Well, for me, this is going to be the difference between you and I. I'm looking for something a little dirtier. I want the grungy. Like, I can get the Uber guy. Yeah, I go to University of Chicago. You want to know where you can get a good green salad? Beep. You know what I mean? I want the guy like, listen, here's the deal.
I've been driving this
I
cab
got a
for a long
guy
time.
who buried a body once. You know, I'm like, take me wherever that guy eats.
Nice.
Like that, you know what I mean? Like, I want that. The guy whose family's been in the town for 3 generations. That's the kind of like, you go through that double dark door, take a left.
A lot of those in Orlando.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy the traveling? Is that part of the job you like? Because I know a lot of guys will come in and say, I really like to be home, but it's part. I got to do it.
Do you have any kids or anything?
It's both. I have kids, which is why I like to travel. And but
how old are your kids? Because I know your son is on your show. Controlled Chaos.
My kids though aren't even kids anymore, right? So my kids are older. My son is on Controlled Chaos. I do a talk show on my Facebook Live, and he's my co-host.
Oh, yeah, awesome, which is crazy. He basically does the job I do here, where he looks like he's pulling up what the texters and everybody's saying.
Yeah. It's weird, and he's older.
How old is he?
He's 21.
Oh, okay.
And I ran into him in the store where I buy my weed in California.
They're like, are you my son?
So I walk in.
You're like, Junior?
You look just
He's
like me, bro.
Pop, how's it going?
It was so
He's
crazy.
Like, Pop, grab the edibles. They're really good today.
He's already stolen my edibles, but I walked into the store, and this was when he was like 19.
Yeah.
Because you can get your medical, you can get prescription when you're 18.
Oh, nice.
Which I think is too young. You should be 21. But I walk in and I go, hey. And he goes, oh hey. And I go, what are you doing here? He goes, I think the same thing you're doing here, right? And then he went to put his wallet away, and I go, what are you doing? He goes, well, you're here. You're buying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Dad's
dude,
here.
This
Yeah.
isn't Baskin & Robbins, dude. I'm not buying you 3 scoops of OG Kush. Like, we didn't just leave your Little League game. You know what I mean? That's
Girl
not
Scout cookies, Girl Scout
Capri Sun and edibles. That's not how this is going.
I learned it by watching you, Dad.
You don't get your juice box and an eighth. That's not how this goes. But
It is a condition, though, when you go out with your parents that you just look at your parents, you're like,
You're paying.
for this,
Yeah.
right? Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Even if you're buying drugs, apparently.
Exactly. I remember that.
When you get to the age where you realize, well, I probably should buy dinner this time.
But that's once
You're
every
like,
year.
Way in your
maybe.
40s or something.
Yeah. You have kids. The only time you offer to buy dinner for your parents is when you're out with your kids.
Yeah, yeah.
And you want your kids to see you buying dinner.
So that one
you know,
day
you know what I mean? So
That's the way it's going to be, boy.
Yeah. I'll get dinner for your dad. Well, you've never bought. You know, my son still. Like, if he thinks it's something he shouldn't have to pay for,
He holds
he'll
out.
call me and he'll be like, so listen, I got to get this thing for my apartment. I'm like, yeah. He was like, you paying for it? I'm like, well, didn't you just say your apartment?
Right.
What do you mean? Why am I buying you a new duvet?
It's so nice, Dad. It's really soft.
At what age was it like, listen, you got to pay for your own stuff? I mean,
18.
18, yeah.
You know, so he dropped, not college isn't for everybody.
Sure, yeah.
Up to you.
Yeah.
And
we're
at that
all
point,
doctors here, actually.
yeah, exactly. No,
College for me.
Why aren't you wearing pants, Doc?
I know. That's how we do it.
But, you know, he went to college for a year, and he decided, he was like, and I knew this when he left high school. He was like, school is not my thing.
How long
man.
did you, like elementary school? I have a 7-year-old daughter. I think she's going to go to college, but like I can't gauge it now. But a lot of people are like, man, I knew it when they were in middle school. You
For
know?
me, yeah, high school, I
Yeah.
just kind of knew that wasn't his thing. And he was like, this just is not my thing. And he wants to work behind the camera.
That's cool.
He likes working on sets. He doesn't want to he likes doing my talk show because he's sitting around with me, but he would love to just do things behind the scenes and stuff. And
So he doesn't want to do stand-up?
no. But so he said, look, I want to work behind the scenes. Do I have to go to college for that? And I was like, no. So he came home, and he was living in the house. And, you know, my wife and I were also moving. And we both decided, like, he's not coming with us.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I told him, I was like, hey, man, just so you know, you're not coming to the new house. And he said,
Really?
he was like, was there not enough room? I don't know. There's plenty of room. We got it's actually a big upgrade for a number of reasons.
got extra
One of
rooms,
which is that you're not coming. And he was like, and he said, I said, there's some rooms. He goes, this is so funny. He goes, well, are you renting them out? Is that why I can't live there? I said,
Yeah, we're going to UCF.
I said, no. I go, well, you don't go to college anymore. And he goes, yeah. And I go, that means you're in the workforce. I said, and grown-ups in the workforce don't live at my house.
Yep.
Look at you. That's good.
That's good.
I said, that's just how that goes.
How do you
man."
handle it?
He was like, I don't understand. I'm like, all right. I said, I don't know how to say it a whole lot more clear, but here's the deal. We will be moving. You will not be moving with us.
Now, what if he had nowhere to go? What if he was like on the street?
He didn't have anywhere to go. Well, that's not my problem. He decided he wasn't going to
He's
college.
a big
Yeah.
boy.
And so I said, here's your deal. You get 3 months to find jobs and
Yeah.
save money.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it costs a lot of money to live in Los Angeles. I'm
Sure.
not going to throw the kid out on the street.
Yeah.
But if you go right now to get as many jobs as you can fit in a week,
You can figure it
you
out.
can save enough money to go get your own place.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, look, I know it's expensive to live there. If he needs a little help,
Sure.
I'm
right,
happy to
of
help
course,
him.
of
But he needs to learn that, like, this is not a free ride.
Right.
And so when this was my favorite part. I go to him. I go, so you're not going? And he goes, I just don't. All my friends, they still live at home. And
Are they all South Americans?
You should maybe see if one of them has a bunk bed then. You know what I mean? Because maybe you could hang out over there.
A race car bed.
But you're not staying here. And he said, well, why? And I said, because when you leave, man, you are going to learn a lot about yourself that you never will learn when you're here.
Yep. Yeah.
And you need to learn, as long as you're not going to be in college, you need to learn what it's like to be out there.
So did you and your wife, did you guys agree on that?
100%.
Okay, because if
You
you
gotta be on the
that's
same
the thing.
page.
If the wife is different,
Yeah.
oh no, we gotta let him stay here, and then you feel the other way, that makes it hard.
So the first day he was back from college, she comes in, shuts the door, and she goes, he's got to go. I was like, I know. I said, yeah, I know.
I love that.
Oh, listen,
But so
I want to talk more about this. Josh Wolf is here. You're going to see great energy, great stories. You'll be able to see him this weekend at the Improv all weekend long. We'll do some more with Josh Wolf when we come back. By the way, we're live on our YouTube channel, so you want to check out the conversation during the break. You can do that on YouTube. Just go to iHeart Monsters on YouTube. You're listening to the Monsters of the Morning. Oh, that keyword coming up next.
We are live.
Yeah, we're live right now on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right now?
Right
now?
now.
Okay.
It's always good to continue, man.
Thank you very much for
Good. We're live right now. Yeah. We're not trying to do a gotcha like, okay, wait till he says something, me too.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's a good looking hat, man.
Yeah, you're a hat guy too.
Yeah.
National champion.
You have the same problem I do. You have weird
What up,
hair.
dude?
No, man, how you doing?
Good, dude. How you doing? Everything good?
Good.
Just busy. Went to Louisiana
It's just like
this
a
weekend.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday through
And
Wednesday,
people
got back
forever
from
be like,
yesterday.
You're completely
But it's going good. My partner's starting to put
the
money.
worst
Good,
hair.
good,
And at some point,
Wow.
I just gave
Yeah.
up.
All right, come on, man.
Not enough,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it shows that
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
wow.
it shows that
He's
not
invested.
just playing.
Yeah, I would be pissed too. Like, dude,
I tried for a brief
this is a
moment.
big part of it.
Yeah.
You know, especially in
Like,
the
Still
restaurant.
got a long way to go.
Sure, but you know,
With my hair,
maintain
it's
it,
sweaty.
and I get it. It's like, hey man, let's do
Not
this.
over, just
You
like
get
to
it.
hold everything in
Oh,
place.
good. Thanks.
Good, dude.
I get a lot of shit from these YouTube people. They're always like,
What's up,
"Where's
bro?
What's up, man? How you doing,
How you
Jeff?
doing? I was at Connolly's till last night waiting.
We were gonna come, but I got drunk.
You're right.
We got drunk and we just
That's
didn't.
too far.
Did anyone show up?
She's in Cuba.
What's
right
that?
Did you have a crowd?
Normally she's
Yeah,
here
big crowd.
on Friday.
Yeah,
She's
she's
in Cuba.
Yeah. Savannah, you've met her before. I think she's been in
He
here
was
before.
like,
And-
she'll give you a VIP tour of
Gatorland.
Gatorland, yeah.
Yeah, she's out of town. Yeah.
That's Holy Land it is.
Yeah. A lot of Jesus.
I can't wait to walk around Holy Land.
I've never been.
I thought they closed.
No, it's open. It's lame as hell, but it's open.
So bad.
What are the
I mean,
rides?
you'll get comedy out of it.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
What are the rides at Holy Land?
I've never been.
There's no right, but they do the not the resurrection. Well, they do the resurrection. They also do
Every day
the
there's
cross
a
thing,
crucifixion.
and you'll see him like dragging the
My
cross.
buddy's Jesus.
Really?
And there's a guy playing
Are you
Jesus.
friends with that guy?
Yeah, Scott.
Was he the same guy on?
No, there's one guy who was there forever that looked dead on like Jesus. And then Scott, I always would look at Scott and be like, you don't even look like that. I guess he puts the wig on and like the thing. Yeah, I was like, Scott, really? Like, I don't see you as Jesus, dog. But he's been doing it for, and then
I'm an actor.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm an
what,
actor.
you see this Jesus? And then another guy, VJ, would play.
Keep your arms wide open.
Yeah, I know. So I've never been, but I do kind of want to go, but then something else happens.
But you're not at least curious.
I am.
I went with a father-in-law who, like, he really wanted to go. It was Kate's dad, and he rode motorcycles. We gotta go to Holy Land, and I went with him, and it was awkward as F.
Why did you want to go to Holy Land so bad?
He's from Minnesota, and he loves Jesus.
Got it.
Yeah.
I think that I'm gonna get at least one good bit.
Oh, you will.
Yeah.
You will. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. When you go to the one area where they got the artifacts, but they're not real artifacts, but they're like replicas of artifacts.
Yeah.
It's like it's behind this thing. It's like these are the 10 Commandments. It's like wait a minute, that really can't be.
Just so you know, I want you to know, you didn't have to tell me.
was like,
that.
all right.
Okay.
Avant-garde
Pretty-
chops.
pretty sure.
Some people have to spell it out.
I was
So.
pretty sure that Holy Land didn't have the real 10 Commandments. They're not the real.
Not real.
What?
Yeah.
They're not the real ones.
But there are people that be, real flabbergasted.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
those aren't the real ones.
I can imagine. I just want to go like Because I know how much the people who are in the Mickey Mouse costumes hate their job.
Oh yeah.
But like, I'm assuming if you're Jesus for
They
the
don't.
day,
They love their jobs.
but it's you're held up to a higher standard, aren't you?
You know, it's
Yeah, Jesus didn't treat you like Jesus.
Yeah, right.
It's like when Daniel Day-Lewis was Abraham Lincoln on
You
the
feel
set.
that's
They're like,
pretty good,
"Yo,
right?
Mr. Lincoln's coming through."
You know what my favorite part?
Somebody said they were gonna bring some food.
Yeah.
Wow, you got some food?
I'm talking to him right now on the phone. He's
Oh.
on his way.
You know what's funny,
Yeah,
Josh?
put some
Here in
cheese on
Orlando,
it,
it's a
too.
big deal. Is every year they have to open up the park one day a
Yeah.
year for free,
That's
so they
the bit.
keep their
That's
tax-free,
the bit.
their tax-free
They have to have
status.
one day, and the line is down I-4.
It's
They
like
never keep
people
their-
are.
yeah, tax-free status.
They all
They
wait to go on that free day, which is kind of funny.
I think, you know, I love the fact that those, I'm gonna call them right now, that is a mob crook move right there.
Oh yeah,
I mean, one day a year,
one day a year.
just so they can stay tax exempt,
Sure.
and nobody says anything.
Oh,
They just go for free.
everybody bitches
Well,
about it.
actually, no, they did, and they also painted this gigantic mural on the side of I-4.
That's gone now.
That's gone. But they were just like, man, we can paint it as Jesus. I mean, who's
Yeah.
gonna say anything?
I remember the first time I was here, I drove past that mural, I was like,
Whoa!
what's happening over there?
yeah. And in Orlando, stuff like that pops up all the time. We're like, oh, there's a volcano. We got a volcano now.
Yeah.
You know, it's on the side of I-4.
Oh, right, because you never know.
We just
Yeah.
had the tallest carnival ride pop up. We're having the tallest roller coaster because this is
All of a
where
sudden
it
there's a
goes.
Ferris wheel.
Yeah, there's just a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow.
I
That's
will
dope.
tell you though also, like you can tell there's too many amusement parks in one area. When they ran out of names, they just named one Funland.
Yeah, oh yeah. Fun spot.
Fun spot.
Fun spot.
It's
Yeah.
kind of a fun spot.
It is.
Oh, okay, that sounds
And their
good.
catchphrase is, "It's huge."
Yeah, they
But
don't
compared to
have-
everything else in town, it's not.
Yeah.
it's the
actually
smallest
very small.
one.
It is a fun spot though. I'll be honest.
You know what else is a fun spot?
Oh yeah. Were you on just Rogan recently?
Not recently.
So maybe I caught the video then. When was the last time you were on there? Has it been? Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, I was admiring yours too. Yeah, trying to keep them. Puma's got, dude, you see who they signed? DeAndre Anson, a bunch of like, you know.
They've been sending me shoes though since I was on Chelsea.
Yeah, they're good at getting out and to kind of.
On my talk show, I give away 3 pair of shoes every show to the guests. They were like, what the fuck?
Dude, I gotta check your show out, man.
Oh, it's so fun, man.
Yeah, I'm
is
a big
cool.
YouTuber. I love YouTube. So how do I look it up?
It's called Control Chaos.
Control Chaos. I'll check it
It's
out.
on my
Subscribe
YouTube
on
channel.
I like that you do different intros and everything.
Oh, Avery's so good at that, man. This week we did one. The show with Jason Ellis was bizarre.
Jason Ellis is a trip.
So he was on the show this week with Tully. So it was, they were crazy. Ellis is crazy. This dude is bananas. Tattooed literally from his forehead.
He's big MMA guy. He's fight.
Yeah.
He's
But
on Howard.
We also.
Hey, good luck winning that trip for two to Vegas. You got all day long to try to win. You just heard the
It's so
keyword. You
fun
text it
to
to
show.
200-200. Be prepared. If you get a phone call from some number you don't recognize about an hour from now, it could be iHeart calling you to tell you won the prize. And that's the only way you're going to win if you answer the phone. So make sure you answer the phone. We'd love to see you win. We'll be doing it all day here on Real Radio 104.1. Welcome back to the Monsters of the Morning. I'm Russ Rollins along with Angel and Carlos. We got Ryan Holmes here. Jeff Howe. How you doing, Jeff?
Russ Rollins, how are y'all?
Wonderful, wonderful. And then we got a special guest from the Improv, and that is Josh Wolf, who's been in here with us before. We're live on our YouTube channel now, so you can watch us live if you want to. And Josh, before we went through the break, we were talking about your son, who's 21, and you were talking about the college thing. And there are some people that pressure their kids to go to college, whether they want to or not. And I've got my ex, I've got a son that's 22. And she was like, college is important. College is important. So when he went to college, it was like, I'm going to be an attorney. I'm like, okay, that's good, boy. So now he's about a month or so away from graduating. He sits me down and he's like, hey, Dad, I think I know what, Dad, you always told me I could be anything I want to. I'm like, yes, sir. That's right, son. Anything you put your mind to, you can. I want to be a personal trainer. And I'm like, what the? You went to college for 4 years?
You know what he found out in college? I like boobies a whole lot. What job is going to help me see more of those?
What the-
Like yoga personal
pants.
trainer, let me spot you.
What the hell? That's not what I sent you to school for,
Yeah, that's a weekend certificate.
Yeah.
Oh.
I really I would have loved my son to go to college. I wanted him to go to college. If you're asking me, I think people should go to college.
Did you go?
I went to college.
Yeah.
And forget about the classes, because honestly, unless you're going to be a doctor or lawyer or an engineer, do you need to go to college? Probably not. But you learn so much about life. It's such a great bridge. It's such a great place to learn. Oh, there are people in this world who don't look and act just like me.
Yeah.
It's such a great place where to slide into the world.
I think you learn that a lot cheaper, though.
Yeah. Well, you got to send him to community college to learn that. Is where you got to learn.
Yeah.
But it's super important. So when he didn't want to do that, that's fine. But but you got to get off the teat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say this: when I went to college, I think I could have just moved to student housing and would have been fine and not had to actually
and learn what you were going to learn.
Because I got about the same thing. But there was a difference when I came back from college to my friends who didn't go and do
100%.
anything, and I was like, "Oh, you guys are just
the same."
The same.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and you grow a little bit getting out of that comfort zone. There's a lot to be said for that.
That's what I think. I think it's socialization. I think it's confidence. I think it's independence. I think, and you are, for the first time ever, learning something new from people who aren't your parents.
Right. Different mentors.
All really important stuff. So I would have preferred he went to school for a bunch of different reasons. I don't need him to learn about art history. Other than it's a great class to sleep in. You know
right.
You know what I mean?
And then Jeff, your son went to be an airplane.
A pilot. Yeah.
One of those people that
People who slide in airplanes.
He's alternate Jesus.
I say he's actually turning into an airplane. He's like, my son is an airplane.
No.
Hours a day.
Yeah, this Jesus airplane. It's a
Hands up, hands down. Hands up, hands down.
So you expect once you send him to that school, they're going to be flying planes.
Yeah.
And what's he doing?
Well, let's just say he's grounded right now.
And it's frustrating. I'm like, boy, I've been, and then of course you're telling all your friends, my boy's going to school to be an attorney. He's going to be, and then he sits me down. And he's like, I want to be a personal trainer. I'm like, any knucklehead can be a personal trainer.
Try going from law school, 2 degrees at UCF, and then telling your parents, oh, I don't want to be an attorney anymore. I'm going to be a stand-up comic.
You probably crushed their dreams, right?
They used to be
you
so
do that?
proud.
Yeah,
all the
that's him.
stories they had was like, so proud he's going to be an attorney. Look
He's
at him.
going to help people
It was
get
the
off
first-
crimes.
Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a stand-up comic. No more stories.
Holmes,
Not quite as
Holmes, I'm
proud.
gonna tell you right now, if you play your cards right, what can happen for you, and it can fix everything. You could have a good friend writes you into a comic book or a graphic novel that he's doing, and makes you into a doctor. Smooths over everything with the family.
Yeah.
That's right. I made Angel a doctor in my comic book. His parents now think he's the most wonderful.
I made it.
Yeah, he's like, my son is un doctor.
I love the half Spanish.
Un poquito. Doctor
So your son is he now personal training?
Yeah, he's working at a gym, and then he met these 2 guys who said, I make hundreds of thousands of
Tell
dollars.
him what you said to him. Tell him. I mean, you straight up were like, look, man.
I told him
there's
straight
some
up.
other dudes that are looking way more buff than
Well,
your
no,
ass.
he's telling me these 2 guys that are in his ear that are like, Ryan, we make so much money as personal trainers, and so he's sitting here telling
Up
me the
to
story.
42 a year.
No. He was like, they make $100,000 a year, and so he sits, and I'm like, Ryan, do me a favor. Do these guys have websites? Yeah, let me show you the one guy's website. Guy is ripped. He's like big black dude, ripped guy, and my son is, he looks like me.
What is your does your son look like you?
Like me.
Like a little Russian nesting dog.
Like
Like a rusty nesting
And I was like, Ryan, show me the other guy. And he shows me the other guy. The other guy's ripped. I think he's like, I don't know, like a big Russian guy. And I'm like, Ryan, you're not built like that, buddy. I said, I don't mean to be mean, but that you're not.
We come from the Husky clan.
We're Husky boys.
We're the short and round crew.
We're not from the athletic. We dig holes and push things.
Yeah, we keep doors open.
Yeah. Right. So
did he listen? Yeah, because I actually remember talking to you about this, and then
look, here's what the last thing I said was, listen, if you, because when I decided to get into talk radio, my dad was not particularly thrilled. You
barely know how to talk, boy.
And so I was like, look, I'll prove him wrong. I'll prove you wrong. I'll show you. And we've been here for 26 years, so I proved my dad wrong. I said, Ryan, if you prove me wrong, then great. But as a dad, it's my job to tell you you're effing up. You know what I'm saying? It's my job to tell you that. Now, if you want to prove me wrong, that's awesome. That'd be great. But now your son's working with you.
Well, I will say, see, for me, I'm with you. Like, Look, I was in the gym, and not too long ago, I was looking for a trainer.
Yeah.
And, you go to the gym, and the gym said, we'll sign you and be like, hey, he's going to show you around. And a dude came to show me around who was not in the greatest shape.
And you don't want to work out with that guy.
Yo, would you go to a dentist with jacked up teeth? No. When you walked in, you'd be like, yo, man, like, what is about to happen? So if some guy's like, yeah, you really need to cut down on the carbs, you are one giant carb.
You're eating
what
pasta
are you talking,
right now.
What are you talking about right now? Like, I would lay on you if we got lost in the ocean. You know what I mean? I would hang on to you. What are you talking about?
And it's so funny because my entire life I've always given him this whole speech about, boy, you can do anything you put your mind to. Anything
against you.
And then he uses it against me, and I had to be honest with him.
Bull crap.
Yeah.
Boy, I meant if it made you money. I didn't mean if it made you happy.
Yeah, look at you. You can't be a swimmer either, you rock. You know what I mean? It's not how you're going to sit.
That's the problem. Your parents weren't specific enough with the millennials.
Yeah.
No, I know.
You should have been a little bit more clear.
You got to be more specific.
You can do anything except for this. You can't be a trainer. Dancer. Probably not going to be a dancer.
No. Athlete.
Escort. Probably not going to be an escort. Probably not going to do that.
You're not good at math, so any engineering.
So do you still guide your son to kind of what you want him to do, or you're still letting him kind of do his thing?
And do you pay him?
I pay him.
He provides a service.
Yeah. I pay him in the money that I'm already giving him.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? So you get some work for free. No, I don't guide him as far as what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And he works hard, man. Like, he's got 3 jobs.
That's like most people do.
Yeah, he's got 3 jobs. So and these aren't the most works at Jersey Mike's. It's not the most glamorous job in the world, but he works hard. I'm really proud of how hard he works. And my oldest son is in the military, and my daughter works for a vet.
Dude, you do not look like somebody who has a bunch of kids that are in the military. I mean, you started young, I'm assuming.
Yeah, man, I got 4 grandkids.
What?
No, you do not.
Yeah, I got my oldest son has 4 kids.
My
you kidding me?
God, you were banging like what, 15, 14?
He was, that's for sure.
Hey, no, the first time you had a and now you're grandpa, did it mess?
Take it easy with that word.
Did it mess with you mentally?
Well, it's funny. He was like, "Listen, you're gonna be a grandfather," and I was like, "That's okay." And but he said, "You can pick out your own name." And
right.
I was like, "Oh, great." And I go, "Any name?" He goes, "Yeah." So my wife picked out her name. She picked out BB, which I love.
That's good.
Right. And so he was like, "Come to me," and I go, "I'm gonna give you 3, but I have a top choice." And he goes, "What's your top choice?" I said, "LeBron." And he said, "What?" I go, "How great is BB and LeBron? It sounds like a great 70s sitcom." You know what I mean? I'll write a theme song for it. And I said, "And how great would it be if we're at the park and these 4 little white kids are like, LeBron, and I run up like, what's going on, everybody?"
I love it.
But he said no, and then he said to me, "Man, why?" I go, "Why?" He goes, "Does everything have to be a joke with you?" And I go, "Yeah. Are you new?
Yeah.
Like, this is not a new thing.
This is a serious nickname, Dad."
So my second choice was JoJo. That's cool. And he gave me JoJo.
That's cool.
BB and JoJo.
Which is
my
also
favorite R&B band.
Yeah, I was gonna say BB and JoJo is like an old jazz couple. You know what I mean? They still play on Friday nights.
That's cool, though.
So how old were you when you became a grandfather?
40. I don't know, 41 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. Damn.
Something like that.
But no, they say being a grandfather is more fun than being a father. Truth to that or not?
Okay. It's definitely the responsibility isn't. That's fun.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel more comfortable being high around them because there are other adults around. You know what I mean? So
It's not on you.
yeah, it's not on me. That's your kid. If I was high and he wandered off, that's not my problem, man. You should have been watching your kid. So you should also be watching me because I'm high. So what are you doing?
We were at the store.
Yeah, you saw me. But yeah, I guess it's just different. You're not as worried, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just much more loose and free for all of them.
Hey,
It's like when you borrow a DVD from somebody, you're kind of like, I don't have to.
Yeah.
If I get it back there, I get it back
Yeah,
there.
because if I have friends who still have DVDs, I'm not talking to them anyways.
We're having a good time. Would you mind saying one more segment? Very rarely do we ask for 3 segments, but is Mike awake?
Can he stay for one more segment?
Can he stay for one more segment?
Yes.
All right, you're a 3-segment guy. We appreciate you coming in here. It's Josh Wolf. He's going to be at the Improv all weekend. You might want to check out the YouTube channel because during the breaks we forget you're listening. All right, so check it out. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Mosh in the Morning.
He's so funny, but he went so dark on this dude. It was great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Is he still on Sirius, right?
He's still on serious. It was so ridiculous. But that's the whole thing about my show is that you never know
What's gonna happen?
it's the whole part of the show.
I love it. I love the sound.
At about the 30-minute mark of every show, my producers hire, so they know I like to be surprised. So they'll just either an improv actor or somebody off of Craigslist comes and sits down on the couch. I don't know who they are. I don't know what character they're playing. I don't know. We had one guy come on who sat down. I found out eventually that he considered himself to be half human, half dinosaur, and he ate salad out of my hand. Just weird.
So he's an omnivore.
Yeah, just weird stuff. And we have some really cool young local musical artists that
Nice.
come on.
How often do you do it?
Once a week, every Tuesday night.
That's cool.
7 o'clock on my Facebook page.
Because then I'm assuming you leave Thursday to go wherever. You come back
Wednesday
in,
or Thursday, yeah.
resettle, and then it's like boom, do the show. Because it's like you always wonder how many. You know, we're going live every day on our YouTube because we do a show every day.
Right.
You know, yeah, it's interesting. So you have everything on YouTube as well.
So I
Or
go
is it right on
live.
Facebook
I
Live?
go live on Facebook, and then I load it up on YouTube the next day.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A guys out there.
Oh shit. That's my favorite sound.
You need a credit card or?
I guess cash.
And no big bank runaround. Gold State's credit union, where there is no fee for checking.
Is there anything you want to promote or anything you want me to ask you about particularly?
I just want to promote the Control Chaos show, and I do a podcast with Freddie Prinze Jr. called Prince and the Wolf.
Okay, cool.
Dress up at the 33rd annual NK Average Sailors Pro-Am Surfing Festival taking place Labor Day weekend, September 1st through the 3rd at the Westgate Resort's Cocoa Beach Pier.
I like the overall look of it.
We'll enjoy
Dude, because it's called Control Chaos and it looks
like Control Chaos.
Yeah,
that's what it's supposed to.
How's that? I was a big fan of Freddie Prinze. I mean, like Freddie Prinze, the Chico and the Man was one of the funniest shows.
Oh, his dad.
His dad is one of them. Yeah, I remember when his dad died. I remember crying because I liked the show, and Tony Orlando was like his best friend, and there was a whole
It's a crazy story, and to hear Freddie talk about it is pretty intense.
Is he disconnected from it because it was so long ago, or it was the 70s when
I'm not disconnected just because
he was really young.
Yeah, but every time he hears his own name, he's hearing his dad's name.
Yeah. And people probably expect, oh, you got to be as funny as your dad.
Well, I don't know if that's it, but also people are assholes.
Yes.
So, people on Twitter, if they're going to insult Freddie.
They go after his dad?
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
It's all good. This is the fine young gentleman.
What's up, man? Ross. Nice to meet you, man. What's going on?
Hey, come on through here and watch show a little bit.
How you doing, man?
Good, how are you guys?
Good, dude. All the
That's wild, man.
It's like I'll read some of the stuff like, somebody sent something the other day. They were talking about it was even because he's a big nerd, Star Wars nerd, comic book nerd, gamer. And there was some conversation about it. Actually, he had said something about Ohio State and Urban Meyer. And basically all he said was, Urban Meyer is trying to say, he was trying to say before the suspension that he had time served.
Yeah.
And Freddie's point was, time served implies punishment. You still made $400,000 when you didn't have to go to work.
Right.
So time served, his whole thing was, is it really time served? And but he doesn't really care. But Ohio State fans started to go after him. And his timeline was like, your father was a fucking coward, all this stuff. It's just
man.
It's just
why? That's
because it's Twitter.
Oh sure, yeah, oh yeah.
And they're assholes.
Yeah, there's people that just.
But he's got a really good head on his shoulders, man. And
How long you known him?
only a couple of years.
Oh yeah.
But he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a really good, solid dude. interested in the whole Hollywood part. And
Didn't he do like Scooby Doo? Didn't he do that movie?
Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
He did a lot of movies in the '90s. Summer Catch. I Know What You Did Last Summer. All those.
Oh, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the show I'm talking
She's
about.
all that.
She's All That.
Okay. But you don't know Chico and the Man, right? That's way too.
I don't know what the hell Chico and the Man is.
It was the very first time a Hispanic guy really
had a series.
Yeah, and it was a funny ass show.
He also was only 20 years old, and you guys will appreciate how crazy this is, when Carson let him guest 20 years old.
For Freddie Prinze.
20?
Yeah.
You know how precious he was with that chair.
Yeah.
He was super precious with it.
Yeah.
He didn't give that to...
Yeah.
And for him to give it to somebody that young and handsome.
Yeah. And funny.
And funny.
Yeah.
But that was...
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you how fucked up the brain can get in situations, because here you have a guy who has everything. He's good looking, he's funny, people love him.
He was on top of the world when he...
Yeah. His wife said, I'm leaving, and he goes to the next room.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the full story.
Yeah, I don't know if that is the full story. I've never asked. I really don't know. I think.
Oh, you're friends with Freddie Prinze Jr.?
That's who I do the podcast with.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, awesome.
So, I don't really...
It's the story he was telling the whole time.
Oh, shit. I'm sitting here telling you something that,
I don't know if that's the story, but like, he definitely, at 20 years old, was for sure the first Hispanic. I don't think there's a George Lopez or a Paul Rodriguez without...
No, I remember that being a big deal. Yeah. And like I was telling, I remember the Tony Orlando was like one of his best friends. And I remember watching the Tony Orlando Dawn show when he had to talk about it. And he said, my fellow Hispanic. I'm like, I didn't know Tony Orlando was Hispanic. I didn't know.
Orlando, let's
I mean, I live in Orlando.
I live in Orlando. I didn't know. I had no freaking idea.
That was a Florida day.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I think, right? Because he was the first.
He was the first, yeah. And that was a freaking funny show.
And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't put it down. I'm just saying, I'm talking about kind of like the Robin Williams thing.
Yeah.
Who can have a better life than that, and just how dark.
Sick.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean.
We got some food out there if you want to finish.
Yeah. What do you got there?
Hey, welcome back to the Monsters of the Morning on Real Radio 104.1, and we are broadcasting live on iHeartRadio, and we're live on our YouTube channel. Go check that out when you get a chance, iHeart Monsters on YouTube, and I'm Russ Rollins, along with Jeff Howe and Ryan Holmes, Angel Carlos. Special guest today is Josh Wolf. Been talking to him during the breaks. If you were listening during the break on the YouTube channel, you know we were talking about your podcast.
Yeah.
And you do your podcast with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah.
And every time I hear that, I have nothing but positive and good feelings about Chico and the Man.
About his dad.
About
yeah.
his dad. But I mean, how many people really remember that?
I do.
I know. Angel and
In
I.
my household, Freddie Prinze was considered like something to aspire to.
He was
right?
the first Hispanic that had his own
sitcom. He was a huge star. I remember my dad. When he passed. That was such a huge. Down day in the house.
Yeah.
My parents, both my
Is
parents.
that right?
Yeah. Both my parents, because you got to understand, my mom and dad didn't meet in Puerto Rico. They met in Los Angeles, of all places. That's where the second base that my dad was stationed at. My mom lived out there, so they were out there living there and getting acclimated and being, getting acclimated to living in the United States. And that was one of the people that, you first saw. That was one of the first stars they saw on TV. That's who they identified with.
Right.
And even though, he was New York kind of based and everything, him being on television was a huge thing for them.
That's really interesting. It's really interesting. I wasn't old enough to really understand his influence, but the more I'm around Freddie, then the more I hear stories like that, how his dad really did affect a certain generation of Hispanic people.
I'm gonna give you a little. Here's a tidbit. I don't know if I ever really told you guys this. So when I first started on this station, I was an intern for Jim Phillips. He does drive time here, right? Mm-hmm. And the bit that I did was that I didn't know English. I was an exchange student from Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
What? That whole time?
That was a bit.
You son of a bitch!
And so I did. That was
great.
I did this bit. I learned English from Rosetta Stone and everything. everything. And that first week I was on the air. The backlash that I got for doing this a bit, and I went to my dad, and my dad was like, listen, this is the same thing that Freddie Prinze was doing on his show kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
And he literally used him as the example. He's like, is it funny? Because it makes me laugh. You continue to go do that.
Nice.
I was
That's
like, and that was
amazing.
week 1 here on the station.
Why were people giving you a hard time?
First there was the people that were hardcore Phyllis File fans and like, why
They're Hispanic on the radio.
Why is this kid from Puerto Rico taking an internship that could go to an American kid?
Build the wall.
And it's
Build the wall. Very good question. Very good question.
Build the wall around the island. Build the wall.
Yeah, they know Puerto Rico is. Okay, yeah.
No, we do not know that most of the time.
Build floating walls.
So there was that part of it. There was the other part. There was the backlash from the Puerto Ricans who were like, "Oh, you're insulting us."
That's
Why?
messed up, man.
Oh, it was. I got it from both ends, but it was awesome because, like I
You're
said,
used to getting it from both ends.
yeah.
Hey,
Kinda used to-
does Freddie Prinze Jr. Do you think he understands the impact his dad had with certain people? He does.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
It's definitely not lost on him.
Yeah.
But like you are reminded when you're a junior
Yeah.
Every day.
every day.
Yeah.
Every day. So I am. It's got to have some sort of effect on him. But he handles it so well, and he's such a good dude, and he's so down to earth.
I'm so glad my
Does he
dad.
still play hacky sack?
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? You talk. What movie was that in?
She's All That.
She's all
Oh
that.
my God.
I love that movie.
Yeah?
He's such a man. 90s teen dramas, I still watch them to this
that's a
day.
big
Did
one.
you have a poster of him on your wall?
Hell yeah.
No.
Maybe. But it was more for her. It was more for
It
her.
was a really moving scene in my childhood, okay? It's fine.
Yeah, no, he's such a solid guy, and like so down to earth. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you said people. Like, we know people are a-holes. They do it to us here on the Texan servers. But
No.
people will come at him and say like negative things about his dad.
Yeah, but look, if you're on Twitter, people on Twitter, they're gonna go. It's the lowest common denominator of insult.
Yeah.
It is.
So
That's horrible,
But
man.
here's when you know you are in a good place in your life. None of that. It doesn't even bump him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of seems like that dude. That he's like, man, I've done, and I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I don't need to do anything.
And like,
Yeah.
listen, I know what I've done in my life.
Right.
I'm very secure with who I am. And
Yeah.
some dude named Randy
Yeah, hey.
in Indiana who's texting me from his mom's basement,
Yeah.
that does not bother me.
Yeah.
So he's really got that in perspective.
That's
really.
good.
Yeah, of course.
How did you hook up with him to do the podcast? You guys just meet out somewhere?
So it was on Twitter. I used to do this thing called the high walk, where every night I'd walk my dog and get high. And
How do you get that job?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
yeah, you got to invent this. You know what I mean? You got to invent this the opportunity.
I
Which
mean,
is what
you
I
did
did. So I would just tweet out things that I saw. I would take pictures of furniture by the side of the road. I had this whole thing on my Instagram for a while called curbature.
Oh, nice.
Just furniture that was by the curb, and I would just pretend like I was selling it. and it was just a lot of fun. But I would do it on my high walk, and I would just tweet out weird things that I saw or funny things I think. And one of them must have get retweeted to him, and he tweeted me back, and I was like, "Hey man, you should come over and let's do the podcast." And he was like, "Okay." And we came over. We sat for like 2 hours. He told me some crazy stuff. Some things I was like, "Man, that was intense stuff that you told me about your pops." And he was like, "Yeah, I've actually never said that stuff out loud before."
Wow. You had a connection.
Yeah, he was like, it just felt natural.
Yeah.
And then we were walking up my driveway. I go, "We should do a show together." And he said, "Absolutely."
So how old was he when his dad passed away?
Yeah, I think he was super young.
Yeah.
Months, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Super
So
young.
you do the podcast, how often? Is it the same as Controlled Chaos, or those are separate?
I do the podcast on Tuesdays, and I also do Controlled Chaos on Tuesdays, but from the same studio. And the studio looks basically, how would you describe the way the studio looks? Like
It looks
a garage?
Yeah, like a garage. Just like things are thrown everywhere. It's literal controlled chaos.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
food out on a table.
I love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's a good bulletin board you got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, it's like an adult Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh,
okay,
It's
yeah.
like anything can happen. It's basically either 3 comics or 3 weird people who are on the couch with me. We sit, we talk, we joke around. And then I ask them a bunch of dumb questions. We improv the theme song is the same, but different every
love
week.
that.
It's like like the beginning of The Simpsons is the same but different every week.
So let me ask you this. So you've done everything. You've done TV shows, talk shows, movies, reality. I've seen your resume. Do you feel like this is the most connective you've had with the audience, like where you are building even another level of fans because it's so personal? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, between the show that I do on Monday and Tuesday and the podcast, that all kind of happens earlier in the week. The High Walk turned into something called a High Live.
Oh, nice.
Which is on Facebook also.
Every Monday.
Every Monday. And I will tell you, this is honestly, and it's going to sound so weird, the High Live has helped my stand-up more than anything in the entire world.
That's what I was getting at.
How's that?
That's what I was getting at.
Why is that?
Okay, so the High Live is me talking straight into a camera for an hour.
Okay.
And I go from 100% sober to this dude shouldn't be out in public in an hour. That's the whole. It's like a weird science experiment.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And it's a continual smoke, edible, but it's the most me I've ever been.
Okay.
Raw.
At the end of the day, even if I wanted to be something else, for an hour straight, just me talking into a camera, there's only so much I can fake. And when you get high and you get that high, you can't be anybody else. You're having enough a hard time being yourself.
Right.
Have you said stuff you wish you could take back?
Yeah, all the time. all the time. But why it's helped me is because, look, I know that I can't be funny for that hour straight.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's impossible.
Sure. That's eternity.
I just have to be interesting.
Yeah.
I can't be funny for an hour straight. So what it's allowed me to do is to be comfortable in the silence.
Yeah.
To be comfortable in the down parts that I know are eventually going to build back up. And so on stage, to be comfortable in that silence, because I tell stories. It's funny you said, come back for more stories. That's all I do on stage is tell stories. And a lot of them are long form. And a lot of them need the first 2 minutes of silence to make the last 5 minutes of funny make sense.
Sure.
But I never had the confidence for that 2 minutes of silence. That's a long time to be quiet.
Yeah.
In a comedy club.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Eternity,
But what I learned was silence means they're listening.
Yeah,
they're not talking to each other. They're in.
Yeah.
So just be in with them.
Settle in it.
Yeah,
Settle in
it's
it.
really allowed me just to kind of sit in and there. Yeah, that's
So
me
we're,
in my backyard.
If you go to
high.
go to monsters.fm right now, click on the YouTube page. We're streaming part of a show right now.
But
it's really dope.
it really is just me going from completely sober to why is he still there?
By the way, it's Josh Wolf is with us.
said
People are asking, what's this guy's name? His name is just Josh Wolf is with us. He's going to be at the Improv all weekend long. Yes, Jeff Howe, question for Josh Wolf.
I'm not trying to one-up you, but I did 30 minutes of silence at a comedy club sometime.
Oh, you did? Yeah, I'm really sorry. What was his name?
But Jeff Howe hates silence. He can't, you can't ride in a car with him. You can't be in a room with him without. He feels like he has to either laugh or say something.
You got to grunt. You got to make some kind of noise.
This is the longest you've ever been quiet.
By the way, are you married?
No.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now you know.
Yeah.
Because if you said that to your wife, you got to grunt or make some sort of
Oh
noise.
no. Listen. One of the reasons I'm not married is there is no silence clause in the in the contract.
That's the only reason you're not married. That's the only reason.
That's the only one. Yeah.
By the way, just the fact that you called it a contract, it's not that romantic. So maybe that might be another reason why you're not married. So you might want to look into your.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I keep it in my glove compartment.
Josh, how many years you been married, Josh?
I've been married since 2004.
Okay.
And I married a woman. She's Catholic and I'm Jewish.
Okay.
And we got married. It was funny. We had a priest and a rabbi.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, it was like a joke.
Yeah.
A literal joke. But the rabbi, because we were married in New Orleans, my wife is from Louisiana. Oh. The rabbi opened with "Shalom, y'all." And I was like, all right, I'm all like this dude. Man, so I gotta tell you, so we had to find a rabbi that was gonna be okay with marrying next to a priest.
Yeah, right.
And my wife wanted to get married on Saturday before sundown. So for the Jews, for an Orthodox,
right, yeah.
from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, and nothing's happened.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was talking to a guy who was like, where are you going to find a rabbi who's going to marry you next to a priest before sundown on Saturday? And I'm like, oh, this is L.A. We can find anything.
Yeah, right.
So we were at one of my friend's Christmas parties, and my friend was like, hey, Rabbi Brian's here. Do you want to talk to him? Maybe he'll do it. I go, is he progressive? And she said, well, that's him right there. And he was eating a plate of ham.
Oh, wow.
So I walk over to him.
That's my man.
I go, hey, Rabbi Brian. He was like, yeah. I go, how you doing? He's like, good. And I introduce myself. I go, you're a rabbi? And he goes, yeah, I am. I go, you're eating ham. He goes, it's delicious. And I was like, you know what? You're right. So the next time I meet this guy, we were all going. He was like, maybe we should meet. We're going to karaoke.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the rabbi's going to karaoke. All right.
And eating ham. Hell
So
yeah.
we show up karaoke a half an hour late. My man is dirty dancing with his wife on the dance floor. And I was like, look at this dude go. Oh, yeah, it was something like Rump Shaker. But he was out there with his wife bumping and grinding.
He's going ham.
Yeah, and I was like, for sure, this dude has no problem marrying us. And we came down. It was a good time. We got the Jews and the Catholics
So
together.
they take a verse, and he would take a verse, and they would go back and forth. I've never seen that before.
He did his thing. The priest did his thing. And then we kind of did a little bit of both.
That's cool.
Man, BB and LeBron are awesome.
Yeah.
BB and LeBron.
Well, tickets are available at the Improv to
go
go see
see him.
Josh. Thanks for coming in and
Thanks for
seeing us
coming
again.
in. Thanks for having me, guys.
We
I really
enjoyed having you
appreciate
come
it.
in. Sometimes we're like, oh, the comic. I hope the
You
comic's
never
going to be
know.
good. And then you come in and it's just
You've
like
always been great.
hanging with a buddy. We appreciate you coming in.
Guys, thank you so much. If you're not going to come down to the shows this weekend, guys, if you could check out Controlled Chaos.
Yeah,
It's on
definitely check it out. It's so
Tuesday
fun.
nights
I am.
on my Facebook fan page. Super easy to find. Facebook.com/Josh Wolf Comedy. I do all my shows for free on my Facebook page.
For now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and I like for now.
For now.
Yeah, until I can find a better place. But it's all for free. They're all very interactive, and check them out.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Wolf, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.